everyone. Today I will read for you a chapter opening night from Disney Princess book written by Bill Scotland. Opening night. It was opening night at the Royal Theatre, and Princess Cinderella was excited to see the show. As the curtains went up, the stars stepped onto the stage. Cinderella smiled. She knew the performer. It was Karen, a singer she had met long before becoming a princess. Years before, Cinderella's stepmother, Lady Treatment, had hosted a gathering at her tutor where girls could learn how to play an instrument and take singing lessons. Lessons sound boring to Lady Treatment. Two daughters, Gisela and Anastasia, but Cinderella thought it was a wonderful idea. "I love to come," she said. Lady Treatment narrowed her eyes. "Why, Cinderella? Do you really have that much free time?" "Well, I just mean you have far too many chores to do," Cinderella's stepmother continued. The next day, lesson began. Cinderella slipped away from her chores to peek in. One girl, standing off the side, caught her attention. She had the sweetest voice Cinderella had ever heard. Her name was Karen. Anastasia and Gisela were immediately jealous of Karen's talent. "You are not special," hissed Gisela. "Your voice is so quiet, no one can even hear you, which is a good thing since you sound like a goose," mocked Anastasia. Later that evening, Lady Treatment said, "Anastasia, you must do something about your flute playing. Work harder, dear." "It's not my fault," replied Anastasia. "I always play the right notes, but my flute plays something else. I think it's broken." "I'll see," said Lady Treatment. "I'll have Cinderella pick up a new one for you." But at the music shop the next morning, the shopkeeper couldn't find anything wrong with Anastasia's flute. "Even so, Anastasia wanted a new one," Cinderella explained. The man handed Cinderella a new flute and asked what she planned to do with the old one. "I don't think anyone will mind if I keep it," she answered. Cinderella had hoped to learn how to play the flute. She wanted to make music for her animal friends. On her way home, Cinderella saw Karen. "You sing beautifully," Cinderella said. "Do you really think so?" asked Karen. Anastasia said, "I sound like a goose." "That's not true," Cinderella exclaimed. "Your voice is as sweet as a songbird. I have an idea." It was time for Karen to see for herself how good she was. First, Cinderella has Karen sing for the shopkeeper at the music store. Karen, feeling a little shy, sang softly for him. "Charming," said the shopkeeper. The two friends then went to the bakery. This time, Karen sang more confidently. The baker clapped, sending out clouds of flour dust. At the perfumery, Karen's voice was strong and full of energy. "Superb," cooed the patron. "You are so very talented." Karen was delighted. At the next lesson, Lady Treatment announced that Madame Lavoie, a famous opera singer, would be coming the next day. She will be selecting one student to study with her. It was the chance of a lifetime. "I'll be right by your side for the audition," Cinderella told Karen. "You must just be yourself. Remember, your voice is as sweet as a songbird." "Thank you," said Karen. "You know, I really think I have a chance." That night, Cinderella As Cinderella was practicing the flute, her stepsister and Lady Treatment barked into her room. "That's my flute," shouted Anastasia. "Give it back. You have no talent," Gisela scoffed. Lady Treatment was furious. "You can't be trusted, Cinderella. You are forbidden from being anywhere near the salon tomorrow. I want you to be outdoors gathering firewoods." "But I already collect enough for winters," said Cinderella. "Then you will gather enough for 2 winters." When Karen arrived at the salon the next day, she missed Cinderella. "You can't sing," Gisela and Anastasia clapped. When it was Karen's turn to audition for Madame La Voice, she opened her mouth to sing, but nothing came out. In the meantime, Cinderella's friends had been working with her since dawn to collecting firewoods. As soon as they finished, Cinderella ran inside, hoping to be in time for the audition. She arrived just as Gisela and Anastasia were robbing their way through an off-key duet. It was dreadful. Madame La Voice asked for her carriage. He hadn't found anyone who could be her student. Karen told Cinderella what had happened. "It's not too late," Cinderella said. "If you believe in yourself, you can do anything." Karen gave Cinderella a hug. "I think I'm ready to sing now," Cinderella called out the opera star, Madame La Voice. "If you please, Karen will sing to you for you," she said. Karen stood right in front of Madame La Voice and sang in a voice that was as sweet as a songbird's. "I have found the most talented student," Madame La Voice announced. "I predict Karen will be the great star one day." Everyone applauded except Gisela and Anastasia. That night, Gus and Jack brought Cinderella a surprise. "The flute!" she gasped. "Oh, thank you," Cinderella promised. She practiced as much as possible so she could play a song for all her friends. Back at the theater, Princess Cinderella hugged Karen after the show. "Your voice is as sweet as ever," she said. "You had the whole audience under your spell." "Thank you," Karen said. "I couldn't have done it without you, Princess." Suddenly, a young performer ran up to Karen. "I did it," she said. "I sang out loud." "I heard you," said Karen. "Your voice was as sweet as a songbird." Princess Cinderella couldn't help smiling. This story was my favorite chapter in Disney Princess book, so I hope you like it too. Thank you for listening.